I'm going to begin my rambling by looking in the rearview mirror, flying solo. This is a slide of Census Bureau demographics for Washoe County between 2000 and 2009. Between 2000 and 2009, we became larger. We added 75,000 persons at an average annual growth rate of 2.3% per year. 45% of that new population growth were Hispanics. We became older, but not by much, only growing in median age by 0.7 years. We became smarter. More of us have a high school education and four-year college degrees. As a result of that, we became richer, or more rich. Where median household income now is at $53,000, although that was an 8% decrease from 2008 median household income. Nevertheless, we have 21% of our households in the county are making six figures now, compared to 13% in 2000. Our household sizes have grown, but not by that much, only by 0.05 persons per household, although our housing unit occupancy rate has decreased to 87%. That's probably the most significant changes in our demographics locally in the county are the share of our paycheck spent on housing costs. Currently, 34% of homeowners pay 35% or more of their paycheck on housing costs. For renter-occupied household, that increases to 44%. Here's a quick look at this population trends. This is population estimates from the state demographer between 2000 and 2010. The state demographer shows us peaking in 2008 at 424,000, and then a decrease to 7,200 in 2009, and then a preliminary draft estimate of an increase of 750 for 2010. On the other hand, the Census Bureau shows us as a gradual increase in population over the same years, peaking or reaching at 415,000 in 2009. The state demographer also generates population projections at the county level, and he has two scenarios. He has a low job growth scenario, and he has a high job growth scenario. You will notice for both scenarios, population does not increase in his scenarios until 2016. His population projection scenarios are based off a population per job ratio. So any change in outlook in the jobs will change his population projection outlooks. January 1st, 2011 was the official beginning of the era of the golden boomer. And that is because the top end of ages 47 to 65 have officially hit the retirement age. The baby boomers will dictate short-term demographic trends. Persons 50 and over will inherit $14 to $20 trillion over the next 20 years. This group spends $2 trillion per year, representing more than half of all consumer spending. They account for 77% of all prescription and 61% of over-the-counter medicine. They spend $500 million on vacations and represent 80% of all leisure travel. They are the best educated of any prior group. They are not afraid of computers and internet, and account for 1/3 of all web users. Of course, these are the largest homeowner group, and 1 out of 4 own more than one property. The long-term demographic trends will be dictated by an echo boom. Generation Y, those born between 1980 and 2000, total 80 million. 80 million, 78 million. These millennials, as they are also known as, are more reliant on computers and internet than TV. They have short attention spans, high expectations, and diverse interests. Proof that I was born after 1980. They are green. They support businesses that support the environment. 1 out of 3 are African American or Hispanic. Together they spend $200 billion per year. Millennials would rather live in urban centers than walkable commutes to big city amenities. They are turned off by cookie-cutter housing and would pay more not to live in the suburbs. But of course, currently, mostly are renters due to their stage in life and because of the job market. Let's take a look at the job market. This is a graph of industrial employment as a share of total employment for 20 years in the Reno MSA. This blue graph line represents casino hotel employment. Slowly decreasing from 1990 at 16% of all employment down to 8% of employment, although they were flattening through the recession years. The red-headed stepchild of our economy is construction, represented by the green graph line, starting just above 5% in total employment in 1990, peaking at 11% of total employment in 2006, and dropping to below 5% in 2010, their lowest level in 20 years. The growing industrial industries are in the service-based sectors. This yellow graph line represents professional and business services that have increased from 7% to 13% and flattening through the recession years. This purple line represents education and health services that started and ended about the same employment ratios as professional and business services, but notice the increase through the recession years. If you combine professional, business, education, health, and other services, they would represent 28% of all jobs in 2010, after increasing from 18% of all jobs. The service-based sectors have passed up the historical heavyweight trade, transportation, and utilities industrial sector in 2000. A new century and a new economy. The Nevada Department of Employment project between 2008 and 2018, they project an 11% employment growth in the service-based sectors. They look at the most recent clip of employment change from Department of Employment shows that they know their business. Of the only 3 sectors that show a job growth between December 2009 and December 2010, education, health services, and other services. The remaining sectors in Washoe County either had flat or decreasing employment changes between that period. The trends in this sector employment, or all industrial employment, ties right back to our trends in the demographic. In the demographics, you have 2 large demographic groups on both sides of these service demands. You have the baby boomers that are demanding the majority of prescriptions, are big-time healthcare clients, and are in need of financial and leisure services. You have the millennials on the other end of the spectrum. They're growing through their education years, and once they do graduate, the new economy almost requires further and higher education. As a result, the trends of these demographic groups and the trends of industrial employment are on parallel tracks. And that concludes my presentation. Thank you.